I'm gonna pull the whole thing down. I'm gonna bring the whole fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your head. It's gonna be biblical.
As usual, being so organised, Elisa and I didn't discuss who was doing the intro again today. So I always think about that when we're playing introduction video. I thought, oh, we didn't say that. So how are you?
I'm good. We're having like a little bit of a heat wave here. But and we're getting like, even though it's Long Island, we're getting like Florida weather. Like it'll be sunny and hot, and then we'll get a serious thunderstorm, and then it's over. So
it's baking hot here again, and the weather looks like it's going to be nice for at least a couple of weeks, or as far as I can see the weather forecast extending, because we had 2 beautiful weeks of summer. We've just had 2 weeks of winter again, and now it's like quite warm again. So very good.
I just noticed I have my other background. I just switched it. I forgot. Good. I had my Zoom background on.
Well, as you can see, I've got my England flag behind me, because although I haven't really watched any football for 6 years, and it is the World Cup, and I am English, and I am very proud to be English, as everyone should be proud of coming from the countries that they come from. And I think this is what we're moving. You know, everyone needs to be. All the people in America that are slagging America off, you know, death to America and stuff like that, need to jog on and go somewhere else, don't they? You know,
they really do. And you know what? If there's death to America, what do they think is going to happen to them?
Exactly right.
Idiots.
Yeah, exactly. So, right, we've got 2 people here already, Misty and Shirley. Let's just swap you across like that.
Shirley.
Hold up. That's it, like that. Let's get the chat in the tall thing up the side so it's not over anyone's face. Absolutely perfect. How are you, ladies? Misty?
Doing great. Glad to be here. Looking forward to Sedona.
Very well, thank you.
Good. Sorry, Misty, you're looking forward to Sedona?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, good.
I can't hear Misty.
Can't you?
Oh. No.
Oh, we all can. Maybe go back out and come back in, Shirley.
All right. Okay.
See you soon.
Yeah. So, Misty, talk to us about Sedona.
Well, I've already got my farm sitter for the animals and my dog. And Lisa, you had mentioned it's going to be like the week of the 14th, 15th, 16th, that weekend.
No, 16, 17, 18.
16, 17,
yeah, that's
18th.
the weekend, right? But the week prior, yes, is like the 14th or the
Okay,
14th.
all right. And I want to come in early and I want to leave later because I want to have extra time. If there's people hanging around, I want to hang with them.
We're going to plan some really fun stuff too.
Great.
So, you know, I always like to, if anybody's watching, they'll get it. And if they don't watch, then they'll have to wait for the formal announcement. But Stu, should we give a little teaser who's on the list?
you can. I'm just going to send Robbie a message. Well, if Robbie's listening, the link is at the top of the Rumble chat. It's also posted in Telegram. Let me post it again. Go on, Elisa.
Okay, so so I'll give you a little preview. I'll give you some of the people that we've got lined up so far. So I'm just trying to pull the list so I don't mess anything up here. But as you know, Stu and I are going to be the co-MCs again.
Yo.
We are. And then we are trying to, what we're doing is we're doing 3 days this time instead of 2, because we didn't have enough time for some people that have more extensive stories, information, questions from the audience. We didn't, so we're trying to put extra time so that whoever we do have will be able to give them the time that they deserve and that's needed for, people that are paying money and coming to this event. They don't want to just have like 15 minutes with someone. So that's the first little difference that's going to happen. And then let me think what other fun stuff that I want to tell you about it. We're hoping and trying to have few people in by Zoom and have them actually, in person.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like we got confirmation on one Zoom person because he can't make it to the States. So that would be Lieutenant Colonel Bosi.
Excellent.
Well, he's quite a distance away, isn't he? So
Yeah, he is.
And they have so much going on over there. I tried to persuade them, because I've been talking to his lovely wife, and she's basically his right-hand person in everything he does. And so, she and I were laughing because she's like, well, if I could figure out, how to get all these things in order. So I was like, okay, well, no harm in asking and trying to push the envelope a little bit, but we'll figure out, so that when he zoomed in, we have a nice amount of time. It's not just going to be like, hey, how are you? A few things. And unfortunately, that's what we were limited to with the other, with the previous one, because we did have limited time because of all the speakers. So, a lot of the people that zoomed in were like 15 minutes because we had, that's how we had to do it. So anyway, that is amazing. We are so thrilled about that. And, we do have Joe and Scott from Truth Stream.
Hang on. Sorry, can I just ask you a question? Because when we did people zooming in last time, they recorded their messages. Is Ricardo going to zoom in live?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's going to be even cooler. Yeah, so anyway, Joe and Scott from Truth Stream. We have, let's see who else I could tease you guys with. Who's a good teaser here? Well, we're breaking it up as best we can into categories. Now, that doesn't mean that it's going to be like one block of that category. They'll be intermingled in. So, if everybody was just having one day just doing all geopolitics and then just all spiritual and then just all, traffic, it's too much. We need to break it up. However, we do have the different categories that we are having speakers from. So yeah, we've got Mark Messina. He's coming. He confirmed. And Laura Worley will be there. She, of course, if you've seen our show with her, and she was at the last summit we did here on Long Island, she's got quite a story as it relates to MK Ultra. So yeah, that's the little teaser on a couple of the people that are coming. So another few days, we're trying to firm up the hotel and get some more specifics set, and then we'll be making a grand announcement.
So
right. What about the senator out of Arizona that was at the Mel's?
Fincham?
Yeah.
Mark Fincham? No, nothing to confirm yet on that. Yeah, but that he's close, so that would really be fantastic. And he's got he's quite articulate too.
Yeah, so are you not going to announce all the names until, the hotel's finalized and sort of everything like that?
I just want to make sure, like, those we already have pretty much firmed, just because of their schedules, regardless of even if there's a day change or something, like when I say day, like it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You know what I mean? Like if that's not going to affect them. But I don't want to go out on a limb here with anybody who may have a conflict. But
can I just ask as well, when obviously once the hotel is all finalised and everything like that, and you can release the names and stuff, when will the tickets go on sale?
Well, we're hoping pretty much like immediately, as soon as that's done, within 24, 48 hours to get that available. And also when we announce the hotel, we want to make sure that the blocks are set. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just about tickets. It's also about anybody who's coming in, because the hotel is small. So we only have, I think it's 138 rooms in this particular hotel. So what we need to do is make some arrangements with some of the other local hotels as well, so people have a place to stay.
Yeah.
Excellent. It's really exciting.
So Shirley and Misty are in. Robbie's just come in.
Hi, Robbie.
If anyone doesn't know who that is, Robbie's I Love Bacon in the chat. Yeah, and you've come on with us before, but you sent me a message. I think I'm going to come on and show my face today. So
happy.
Well done.
Yeah. I lived in Arizona for 12 years. I've been to Sedona a million times.
I bet.
It's lovely. My mom's still there in Scottsdale, but I moved back to Ohio because I have grandkids back here. About 14 years ago. But I lived there from 2000 to 2012. It was nice.
Oh, wow. So do you think that could be on your radar to come because you have connections there, or you got to see?
Maybe, yeah, but I don't fly anymore since COVID. I don't trust anybody. So I've flown a million times, let me tell you. But now, since COVID,
I think we all feel that way. Like just a weird
I'm pissed at the stewardess. They acted like Nazis to all the people with the mask and everything. I would have killed it. Like I would have never been able to fly because I would have not kept my mouth shut. A little addition to that. Pissed. Like I don't want to give them a dime. I hate those.
Those stewardesses, I hope so. I really hope they get their comeuppance because
me too.
Oh my God, 2021? I can't remember if it was 2021 or 2022. We had like a trip planned again to Disney, and my kids were a little younger, obviously, and they saw what I was doing in the neighborhood, with the mask and the getting thrown out and all that crap. And they're like, Mom, please, we know it goes against everything, but please, could you just try to just like abide by things when we go there? And I said, you know what? I'll do it just because you're asking me. And it was hard, but we get on this plane and I had it like literally I had the mask like this, like it was touching my nose. And this little bitch comes over and she's like, you better we're not even like, excuse me, ma'am. You better put your mask over your nose. And I was just like, I didn't say anything
immediately, so I didn't even bother.
If it was just me, I would have got up and walked out. But my kids, I was just like, ugh. So now I pull it up like a little bit and then pull it back down. And she goes, I'm telling you right now. She goes, if you don't abide by the federal law, she goes, I'm going to call the captain and you're going to not be on this flight. Now, first of all, you have rage at what's going on. Second of all, you have the fact that I'm Sicilian. And third of all, you have the fact that I'm totally need anger management as a general rule.
I'm just like you.
I had to push it down. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was on Twitter. I was going off on Delta. I had her name. I was like, she's the worst. I didn't do anything, but I had to get that. Yeah. So I still have a lot of that. So I don't blame you, Robbie.
I did that even because I couldn't stand seeing kids wearing masks. You know what I mean? And I called, there's 4 different school systems, and I got a daughter that teaches, mind you, but she didn't know I did this. But her school system, the 2 school systems that I had grandkids each in, and plus the one in my city, gave them all hell. I let everybody know that it's crimes against humanity, blah, 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 blah. I would not shut up, you guys. Anyway, I spoke up for the children and everything the best I could. You know what I mean?
It was a horrible, horrible time.
I hated that time.
Yeah.
Sorry,
really
I'm depressed.
Traumatic.
Well,
I should have talked about happy shit.
I mean, that was a horrible time, but I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed myself because I was researching, I was going out every day, I wasn't working, I was doing all these sorts of things. But I made a stand and I didn't go anywhere. Last time I had a holiday was when I went cycling in the Alps in 2018. I planned to go in 2020, COVID struck, and I did not go anywhere because exactly like all of you, especially you, Robbie, I would not be stuck anywhere that anyone demanded I wore a mask. Anyone told me I had to get a jab to get home or anything like this, I would not. So I made a stand, and I didn't go on holiday. You know,
Same here.
Lovely enough here.
Yell at me, and I would yell right back like a crazy person.
Yeah.
Like you yell at me.
Yeah, exactly.
One time they wouldn't even check my groceries out till I put a mask on. I put it up, they checked me out. I put my card in, took the effing thing off.
Yeah.
Like F you, mother, you know.
Yeah. I never even put one on my face. So I had to go into the hospital for a nose operation. They were trying to take the temperature on my head. I was banging their hands away. I was driving a taxi, wheeling people in and out of hospitals. I was going, no, I wouldn't do it. And the first time I went anywhere in this 6-year period was to come over for the Awakening Summit to see Elisa and everyone. And do you know what? It was absolutely fine. You know, it was just, I don't want to say back to normality, but there was no stress, no massive queues, nothing, no demand. Everyone was pretty lovely.
Yeah. And I don't want to make excuses because, like, that's not what it's about. But when I was alone in my own free agent doing things, going to the supermarket, having to, whatever I was doing, I was a mad woman and I didn't care. But when you're with kids, it becomes a double trauma because on the one hand, they're dealing with the stress of all this nonsense and the school, and then their mother or their parent, right? In my case, sole parent, they see her out of control, you know, and I didn't want to cause them any more stress. So I tried to stay out of situations whenever possible, but you know, I knew how upset they would get if I was upset, you know.
Half the time I order my groceries online and pick them up so I didn't even have to go in and fight these friggin' people.
With the gloves, and then people were in plastic gloves, and it was so ridiculous. But you know what?
I found a drive-through beverage store where I could get my cigarettes, and I told them, "You're my new favorite store."
But I think it was all done by design from the White Hats, because I remember reading something way back talking about that the effect of the mask and the effect of was something that actually bypassed the consciousness and went into the subconscious because of the power of this suppression. It tapped into all that, and that it was on purpose because it needed to set almost like a genetic
it worked on me because
thing into our that we'll never we'll never put up with that. And some of us didn't. Some idiots, I don't think it took effect.
They were thinking, the first thing I thought was, put this on your face and shut up, you friggin' slave. And I thought, F you, I'll never wear that thing. That's what my mind was telling me.
I know.
You know, like, I'm not a slave, and neither are these kids. You know, like,
the kids were the worst. 2-year-olds.
Oh my God, it was horrible. I let them all know, and I hope something happens to where they know what they did. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what, but, and my daughter working for the school board, she was part of that mass decision because.
Who was this?
My daughter's a teacher. She worked for the school. She was actually curriculums coordinator. Now she's back to teaching because there's no funding. She had to go back to teaching after 10 years working in, she's 45, 10 years working in the curriculum, and no funding anymore because there's no more, what's it called? The Teachers Association or what? I don't know. What did Trump get rid of? He's
tearing it all apart, right?
Yeah, now all these cities are struggling. Well, my whole state, all the cities are no funding, you know. And she's teaching now. Even though she's a high school teacher, she's teaching 5th grade this last year. But she liked it. Anyway, she got used to it again. But she's not awake. She listens to me a lot, you know, and she agrees. And she heard all this crap back in college, she said. But a lot of it they don't agree with, you know.
It's that generation is it's like that middle, like I think the kids in their 20s are becoming very awake.
Grandkids that are 20, 21, and 22. The 22-year-old's a girl, and I think she's more awake than anybody. The other 2 boys, no, because they grew up in the country, like they're like Okies, you know,
really?
Yeah, they're totally in the system. I don't see them coming out. But then I have 2 grandkids that are 14 and 16, and they listen to everything. So we'll see. You know, they're aware of the trafficking and all that. But my
It's amazing
16-year-old
how these kids know
granddaughter,
it, right?
I said something about vaccinations and this and that. And she looked at me one day and said, well, I have all the vaccinations. I said, I know, honey. It's okay. We're allowed to have a difference of opinion, I told her. We have to respect each other, you know, what we believe. Everybody's got a different belief system. Because I didn't know what else to say to her.
Yeah.
Because now I'm talking about how dangerous they are, and she's had them all.
You don't want to scare the crap out of her,
And
right?
she's like really smart. She's probably going to be valedictorian of her class, and she wants to be a brain surgeon of all things. I'm thinking, boy, wait till you find out. Wait till you wake up. I think. I don't know. Our brain is what's probably got us in this, you know. But anyway, that's our computer. She's going to find out.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Now, where are you again right now? Where are you
I live
located?
in Ohio. I'm really close to the Pennsylvania border, way up in the corner of Ohio.
Okay.
Like a 40-minute drive from Erie, PA. So I'm right on Lake Erie. It's really nice. I've been going to the lake. I'm getting my tan on. But
good for you.
Yeah, well, it feels so good. Once you get down there, you know, I'm so glad I went every time. It like brings you back to life. It makes you want to cry, you know, it makes you feel so good. You know, your body needs that.
Yeah.
That grounding and the sun, you know. But I'm the one that's got a daughter who's 40 that's pregnant. Didn't think she could have kids.
Oh my God, that's when I had my kids.
And she got pregnant. Her husband and her were like on the way out when it happened. And now he's moving to another state. He doesn't even want to be here for this child.
Oh.
The baby girl coming. And I used my talent. I was online for the last 6 months and I got her everything for free. I've got so many. I probably got 200 pounds worth of baby clothes all the way up to size 3T. Everything for free, mind you. People just want to give you stuff. Strollers, you name it. She got a brand new crib though. But anyway, I've got that baby hooked up. And I told them I don't want acknowledgement for it. I just wanted to tell you my talents. Because I can get stuff for free, you know. And why buy a brand new stroller when you can get one that's barely used, you know what I mean?
Right.
So anyway, she's all set to go.
Oh, congratulations. When is she due?
August 12th.
Oh, she's going to be hot this summer, huh?
I had her in August, so I know.
I had mine in September. August was not a fun month.
No, it wasn't. I always had a maternity bathing suit, though, so I could get to the lake. But anyway, so that was back in the 80s. I had my kids 80.
So tell us a little bit about like your journey. Like, how did you awaken? Oh,
Well,
I've been through the ringer, you guys. I was on medicines. You know, I was on antidepressants and benzodiazepines.
when? Like what
35 years old.
decade? Okay.
35 to like 55.
Okay.
For at least 20 years, 25 years, actually. I went off the benzos when I moved back here in 2012. And that's hell on earth. I don't know if you ever heard anybody. I'm lucky I'm alive. I'm lucky that I'm alive. But that is not, it's worse than heroin, any of those drugs. You can go off heroin and all that shit and be fine. A week later, your body goes through the withdrawal. Benzos rearranges your brain you're so screwed for a year or two till you get your brain back. It's caused me to have emotional issues. Like I cry a lot. And I think my brain is damaged from it. And then I went off the antidepressants about 8 years ago. But that's when I got divorced. And like I bet all my trauma has been the last 8 years, along with COVID dumped on it, you know. I had a husband that pulled something stupid. He ended up going to jail for 3 years. What he did, I just kicked him out of the house immediately. He was gone. It was back in 2018. And my kid, the father of my children, died. He was 60 years old. And my youngest one wasn't having a very easy time with it. So I went to her house that night. Well, he tried to screw my neighbor. And she wasn't, you know, he was a narcissist. I didn't even know it. But he tried to get her and she placed a police report. And 6 months later, the DA decided to charge him for that. Anyway, I made him leave as soon as it happened because the police were at my house. He had called me and told me the cops were there. And I'm like, you're going to have to leave. And he said, I know. And he left. And I changed the locks and I divorced him on my own. I didn't even get a lawyer because I'm in a trailer and my brother owns it. So we didn't own anything together, you know what I mean? So it was easy to get a divorce. But I did it myself through the courts. It took 2 months. I was divorced in 2 months. I worked in an office my whole life. I don't have college, but I'm smart.
Amazing what you could get done when
and
you
I was
keep
in
the legal
so
system out.
through all this shit, but I did it. And I have no sympathy for like my kids when they go through shit, like my youngest one. And I just think, grow up. Like I was doing shit. Anyway, she's 40 and she acts like she's 15 and she's going to have a baby. I'm not too pleased about it because I don't know how she's going to be, especially with no husband now, because she's very selfish, you know. But my other two are really good. I don't mean that she's bad. It's just that I don't know what her issues are. She loves attention, and so you know she's the one. She's the kind of girl that gets on Facebook and says, "Oh, I just want to give up," you know, things like that, because she wants attention. She wants people to say, "Oh, don't do it," you know, whatever. She goes to
DM me, babe. DM me, babe.
Yeah. So anyway, that was a no-brainer for me, the COVID thing, because like I already knew they were trying to kill us, because I'd started researching back in 2014 all these pharmaceutical drugs and how they sit on the board of the FDA, all these CEOs of pharmaceutical companies and shit. And just because of what I went through, knowing that most people are not going to be able to go off that drug. Most people die. They don't get to go off of it like I did. I'm really lucky.
Is the benzo in like the family of like Xanax and that kind of thing?
And I was taking, and you can get psychiatrists to prescribe them for you, you know.
They prescribe them like candy, if you ask me.
It's not like I was getting them off the street or anything. It was prescription.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, after a 20-year stretch that people always tell you, "Oh, I'm fine. I've been on them 20 years." Really? Wait till they pull you off of it. Wait till you see what that drug has done to your brain. To begin with, I was like not remembering shit. It was making me like Alzheimer's type. My work was saying, "Robbie, what is going on?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like, I didn't think anything was wrong." This was in Arizona before I moved back here. So I haven't worked since 2012, and I'm 66. I retired early, but I'm fine now. You know what I mean? I'm a crybaby too. You know, I tell everybody I'm just a crybaby, but I'm just trying to figure out life, you guys. I mean, it's not easy.
No.
For the first time in my life, I'm alone. You know, I got no man, and it's not that I really need one. You know what I mean? I like my peace.
Yeah, I
It's
think
nice
a lot
to
of
have
us do now.
once in a while, you know. Like, but anyway, I've got a brother that takes really good care of me. He lives close. I've got my two oldest daughters are really good to me, you know. But my youngest one's going to be my grave. Like, you know.
There's always one. I remember watching the movie years ago, Back to School, with Rodney Dangerfield, and he had like Lou was like his, bodyguard. And he tells, you remember that scene? And he tells the kid, "I got two sons." He was like really like Italian. He goes, "I put one through college and one through a wall."
I'm drinking tea, Stu. My mom, her father was English, and she's so proud of the fact that we had a bunch of knights in our family tree, you know. And I think, yeah, okay, whatever, mother. My mom doesn't know nothing. Knights that work for the cabal, yeah.
Well, I'm English, and I very rarely drink tea.
I don't know. They got me drinking tea when I was little, and I still like it. But I'm not only English; I'm Swedish and German too. So.
I'm on my about 5th day without caffeine, because I normally have coffee in the morning, but I don't think coffee's very good for you, really, ultimately. And especially this film I've watched lately, and I can't remember what it's called, but I've been drinking, and I'm looking into various things. You can get chicory coffee, which has got no nicotine in it, which I'm looking into, but I'm drinking 4 different mushroom latte at the moment. In the morning, couple of times, so that seems to be quite nice. I haven't lost any lack of energy or anything like that, so yeah.
I drink tea all day. I shouldn't. It's bad for you, but I like it.
Yeah.
And so but I don't drink for anything.
Well, everything that's bad for us is quite enjoyable, isn't it? Really, sometimes.
Everything.
Can't give up the cigarettes. Really, it's the only thing that keeps, it's a crutch. It's definitely.
Do you smoke organic? Because George, my fiance, smokes, and you know when I say you got to stop, you know what he tells me? So funny. He goes, "I'm not a quitter." So anyway, but I found him.
Mullen's good. I like Mullen.
The Native Americans have a farm or whatever you want to call it out here on Long Island, so it's all organic. There's no preservatives. There's no. I mean, listen, the Native Americans were smoking for like 8,000 years. They didn't get cancer, so it is a plant, whatever you say. But when they put all the chemicals and the filters and the paper and all this other shit in it, so I don't know. You might be able to check into it because they do ship. So
the chemicals in Marlboro. That's what I figured.
Yeah. He went from Marlboro Lights to whatever the hell this is. It doesn't smell as bad either. I have to tell you, like, I don't like cigarette smoke, but as an ex-smoker from many years ago, but it doesn't even smell that bad. You know, I feel like if you're you can't just give up everything, you know, that you've become accustomed in your habits.
My daughters were so against it. Thank God none of them smoke, you know what I mean? But now they have bought me cigarettes. Like in the last couple of years, I think one of the nurse daughter bought me a carton of cigarettes for my birthday last year. And I looked at her, I said, what the hell? You've given me shit for how many years? And now you're buying them. Like they decided to be nice to me. Just let mom have her cigarettes, you know, because.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Oh my God, now she buys them for me, you know, like, and she's a nurse. Like, I'm so glad none of my kids smoke. I'm so grateful they don't smoke.
Well, don't forget, we've been lied to about nicotine, and during the COVID years, none of the smokers were getting ill, you know. So
I didn't even have a sniffle. That's probably cigarettes.
Yeah, this is why Fauci was going, it's never been better time to give up smoking than now, because I think they wanted more people off the fags, so more people get ill or whatever.
Well,
but
you know, my mom quit, my sister and brother, everybody's quit in my family, but me. And they'll harp on me for this, and I'll be like, I want to say something so bad, but you guys are taking pharmaceutical drugs that are killing you, just like these are. I have tried to school my brother and sisters, and my neighbor even, on all these drugs they're on. Just they love it when the doctor gives them a new drug. My sister's been on Suboxone for 20 years.
What is that?
I'm sure that's killing her. It's synthetic heroin, basically, to keep you off of like the pain pill. What's the name of that drug? You know, the pain pills. I forgot what they call them, but
gabapentin.
Anyways, it's like no, it's not gabapentin, but I have a neighbor that went off of that. That's gabapentin.
That's a bad one.
Brain as benzos is does the same thing.
God,
It depletes the receptors in your brain, the receptors, and then you know you got no spark up there anymore. You know what I mean? I think I've actually healed my body now because it's been years, and I know that our body heals. You guys, I've proved it to myself. Like I had colitis, I changed my diet. I went on ivermectin, fruit. Actually, a lot of fruit is what saved me, and fasting. It got rid of my colitis. I had GERD, all this.
Wow.
And I've recently started experimenting with, well, I'm not no Reiki or anything like that, but I've watched stuff on it, you know, and I can concentrate, close my eyes, and I can bring the energy to like a pain that I have in my body. And I can feel the energy. I can see it in my eyes going into, and I get rid of pains in my body, you guys. All you have to do is believe.
Yeah.
You just have to believe. I've been using castor oil. I had this big boil on my leg. Like, I don't even know where I got it. And I put castor oil on for like a week and it's totally gone. Like it just absorbed, you know. So I've got a medicine cabinet full of stuff now, you know, the oregano, all this stuff. In case I get sick again, at least I got oregano. You know, that's like an antibiotic. So I started.
Just like me.
You got that stuff too?
Yeah, I've got castor oil. Yep.
And nobody wants to believe me in my family. They laugh at it, but I prove it to myself. You know, I don't care what they believe anymore. I'm ready to go. Every day I cry, I want to go home. I don't know where home is, but it's not here.
Well, you're home with us while you're here.
Yeah, I think it's whatever is going on kills my soul. That's why I want to go home, because that's why I feel like this isn't home. I don't know. I think it's just how low vibe we are right now. And I'm sick of people saying, oh, raise your vibration. Whatever, I'll raise it. I am all love. You know what I'm saying? That is the highest vibration. If I want to cry during the day, I don't think that's lowering your vibration.
No, it's releasing, it's healing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just
it's
think
like toxins in our tears.
High vibration is there than love? And I have love for everyone. Every animal. I'm going to be watching animals next week. I go to people's house when they're on vacation.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and they pay me pretty good. My brother, his neighbors now, two of my daughters, and they all pay me really good, you know, every summer. It's just I don't sleep for a week when I'm not home in my own bed, you know, but I don't have animals now since I had to put mine down. That killed me. So now I just love everybody else's, you know, but next week I'm going to be somewhere for a week watching a little guy. But anyway.
That's very sweet. And they're high vibrational. So it's good to be around animals, touching them, and they're getting their energy.
Wow.
He was just on your lap, Misty.
Is that a kitty? Yeah.
This is my little baby Reno. He's 5.5 pounds. He's half Chihuahua and mini pin.
Aw.
And he's
Lift
being
him up a little bit.
Yeah, lift him up. Oh my gosh.
No.
he's a little needy this morning. So he came to me and I picked him up. I figured you guys wouldn't mind.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So
The little guy I had to put down was Chihuahua and Dotson.
Oh.
He was yeah,
We're
that was
going
the
through
hardest
quite
thing.
a solar storm at the moment, and an awful lot of people are saying that their animals are clinging to them.
Yes. Oh my God.
We
I know
really
that
are.
too.
I
You
mean, there's
guys
been
watch
a
that
coronal hole
Stefan?
that's been opposite, and
Mhm.
watching Ray's astro, whatever it is, this morning, it's due to hit tomorrow, the main part. They're going to be turning a lot of satellites off, and he explained all what's going on, but it's hitting us now. It's really quite strong. I must admit, it unfortunately affects me a lot. I'm not sure I can stay on much longer. I know it sounds awful, but it makes
you
me
really
giddy.
tired?
I get heart palpitations.
Mm.
The only way I can cope is just literally lie down in a dark room on my grounding sheet. That's all I can do.
So you're
when
having
we
a
have
lot of
bad one.
physical symptoms, Shirley?
Yes,
Because I've been
yes.
suffering terribly lately with weird body stuff, and I keep
Yeah.
thinking it's mental. You know, like, oh,
No,
this is
no.
why.
We're going through a really quite a bad at the moment, particularly this weekend. We're going through a really bad plasma storm. The energy that's coming through from the sun, it's actually Earth facing. And as I said, it's due to hit tomorrow. So I think a lot of the internet will go down tomorrow.
I'm praying
So-
something good happens tomorrow. Trump's birthday. Yay.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I'm going to the pub tomorrow, so I won't be on the internet anyway. So I don't mind about that. We've got a regular meet up with my little Awaken clan. So we're having a roast dinner and a few beers. So that'd be
Nice.
great. Yeah.
Before I go, there's one thing I did want to say. I watched your the one you did with the English group, Maestro and that lot the other day, and you mentioned the fact you mentioned about the barons and Magna Carta.
I did, or Charles did.
You did. I'm sure you did. You said something about the fact. So and this rang a bell. Anyway, it was just by chance last evening. I've been watching, following someone called Rich Does Politics.
Yeah, you're talking about Article 61, are you?
It might have been that, yes.
Yeah.
Now, Rich posted yesterday, and I've watched it twice because the first time I watched it last night, I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. So he did a talk with E.M. Burlingame and Andrew Bridgen. And it was all about, Andrew did get quite a lesson in English history. But it makes me, I know you don't have a lot of time, Stewie, but if you get a chance, I can forward you which one it was.
I did watch. I was watching some of it. I definitely watched Andrew Bridgen with Which Does Politics, and there was someone else on there. So
yeah, well, the one they talked about was about what's going on with the influx in Britain of all the illegal immigrants. But what E.M. Burlingame, he is historian as well. And one of the things that like confused me was, in the past, I followed David Icke. There's so much stuff across the internet, obviously with the Epstein files and the connections to the royal family. Andrew's taking the blame for it, but there's a lot of talk, obviously, about King Charles and Jimmy Savile, and if you follow some of the more weirder ones, the talk about the reptiles and this sort of thing. There's a lot online about the fact that the royal family are losing their way, and King Charles is turned more towards Islam rather than. But E.M. Burlingame gave a completely different point of view that Andrew Bridgen, you can see from his face, he was quite shocked, because he was saying that if Restore get into a position in Britain where they've got some real power, what he's recommending was getting rid of the House of Lords, becoming more like America with a republic, and sort of virtually getting rid of putting the royal family into a much less powerful position. And he got history lesson from E.M. Burlingame that made him freeze. It was well worth listening to. So he took him back to Charles I. And he said that ever since then, the royal family have been captured for several hundred years.
Yeah.
And he said the reason that Charles is taking the position he is now is because of the fact that, and he said because E.M. Burlingame was, although he was born in Birmingham and he was and grew up in Britain to start with, he moved to America, and all his working life he was a Green Beret, Special Forces, and so he really doesn't know what he's talking about. He said, although the royal family do have their own income through Crown estates, all their security is provided by MI6, MI5. And they've got them where they want them. And they say to them, right, we guard, you've got in your homes all your brothers, your sisters, your children, your grandchildren. They're all guarded by our chaps who've got guns in your homes. Wouldn't it be unfortunate if you didn't do as we want you to do if something happened and one of your children got killed? That's been held over them, apparently, he reckons, for at least the last 200 years. He reckons, when you hear him talk, he reckons that they actually killed off several members of the royal family because of the fact that once they get to a certain age, they've got nothing to lose. And they've been known to go off the rails a little bit, but he was tying it all in to America and to what he calls the Anglosphere, all the English-speaking peoples of the world. I watched it again this morning. It was a mind-boggling interview. If you get a chance, because what I'm thinking, Stewie, is maybe there's more going on behind the scenes in England than we actually are aware of, and I'm not just. But it all ties in with what you're covering with the different interviews that you do.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. Let me just say a couple of points to that. I believe that this American model that we're seeing with Trump, I believe Trump and the military are pretty much in control of every country now. Every country's signed on, right? Trump controls the UK military as well. This military alliance is everywhere. What we're seeing in America is potentially going to come here. We may see the royal families get taken out. We may see this and move back into a republic, sort of a thing. I think we're going to see all political parties destroyed, taken out. We, the people, are getting the power back. Oh, just getting a download. My ears are ringing. I don't know what that's about. So that's fine. Now, did you say that when the royal families have been captured, they're probably captured by the bankers? Do you know what I mean?
Well, yes, I'm aware of that side. But what you're saying the military, but you forget one of the whole points of what Trump is doing is he's trying to take down the city of London. And most of their work and their power comes through MI5 and MI16.
Yeah.
And they haven't got power of them yet. They're still trying to undermine them, to cut all their finances, and that's the battle that's going on. So they still have the royals under their thumb, because what Burlingame was saying is, if he was in Britain now, and he said you'd probably find that majority of the people, English-speaking people across the world, would come to your aid. You need, without force, to actually capture the crown, because he said, although Tony Blair, when he came in, because they knew that it were going to be what they were going to be doing was treasonous, they got rid of the death penalty for treason. And he said, but the king still has some power that he can write something that he can actually still do that. But he said it is going to be pretty nasty. But I tell you what, that was an amazing interview. I know you don't get much time to watch it.
I will watch that. If you send it to me, I will watch.
Fascinating.
I believe in the whole scheme of this, what we've talked about, this military alliance, they've taken out the bloodline families. They've taken out millions. They're replacing certain politicians, members of the royal family, and all this sorts of stuff to do this. But the final battle, who they're going against, is the people in these intelligence agencies, i.e. MI6, Mossad, MI5, Purbright Institute, all these places that are all scheming together. They're rooting everyone out. I'm sure they're in control of most of it, but I think the only pushback we're seeing really is from these agencies, and also from the low-level criminals, these idiots that are just running around trying to behead people and just stab people and all that. They've all got to be eradicated somehow, right? But I believe it's all sort of like be in control to take all these people out. But I do believe exactly what you're saying and what he said, that, yeah, it's the intelligence agencies and the people that are still, I think they've got control of most of the intelligence agencies. And I think most of those, RDS, Robert David Steele said, didn't he? 90% of people are good people trapped in a bad business, a bad institution, you know. So I believe they've got, but there's still, you know, there's still moles everywhere, if you know what I mean. Yeah. They're trying to root out people. This is why I can't think, is it called the bird cage thing or something, or the canary model, something like that, is when they tell 3 different people 3 different things, and when it gets leaked, they know.
Right. Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Told them. Do you know what I mean? So yes. I do believe sting operations are going on and on and on and on like that to find them.
I mean, what Burlingame said was, there's been other American presidents that have said the same thing, is that the problems are from within. So although you might have a royal households and you might have security and people that they apparently trust and love, there's always a traitor somewhere in there that's been implanted, that's like a sleeper. And they said until they can find all those, but I can always send you on your email the link to that particular one. It's a long one. But
I will. If you send me that, Shirley, I'll watch it definitely. And I just want to say as well,
brilliant. It was a brilliant one, and I learned a lot from it, and it really made me. He said we've been taught since Charles was born. We've been taught to hate him, to despise him. He said he's led a sod of a life, quite frankly, because he said the pressure he's been under to act the idiot like he has. But if it's true, as I said, I felt I had to change an awful lot of what I thought about everything.
Yeah, no, I do agree.
Doesn't often happen.
Yeah, I do agree with pretty much everything you said there, and it aligns with everything that Elisa and I and most people they talk about anyway, with this military operation, the Worldwide Alliance, and Q, and all these sorts of things. I just want to say to you, because you mentioned the barons and stuff, before I met Elisa, when I was just still sitting here banging onto myself, sitting under the stairs, I did 4 interviews with 4 of my friends, and I think number 2 I did with my friend James. He's really into this. He talks about the Magna Carta, Article 61, the barons, and all that sort of stuff. So if you send me that interview, I'll find it's not even on Patriots Across the Pond channel. It's on my Stu's News Live 5, I think. I'll email that to you in return.
Okay.
All right.
Right. Yeah, will do.
So I just want to weigh in on one thing of what you're saying. You know, like looking at it from this perspective in America, it would seem to me that yes, there's still moles, but they're part of the construct of what's going on. They're not like at the top. And the reason I say that it doesn't make sense that they still wield a lot of power is because if you consider that we pretty much have good confirmation that the news, you know, the mainstream media, as well as a lot of these CIA / Mossad / you know, MI6, whatever, the intelligence agencies of the world, which all work together to control everything, they pretty much are not in control anymore. You know, we can see like whether it's Facebook, Meta, whatever it's called, you know, YouTube, it appears that there's probably, they're not going to announce it, but it would appear to me, just by looking at a lot of the evidence, that this is all controlled to a large extent. And then all the comms that we've gotten when it comes to the royal family and, you know, all the things Trump has done, right? All the little comms that they've given us over the last number of years. So what I would say, just my opinion, and I want to watch that video, obviously, Shirley, that you're talking about to become more aware of all this. But it would seem to me that potentially what we're experiencing right now on a large scale across the world is not necessarily anymore the takedown, even though they're still trying to clean things up, but more the reformation, because they're not going to take down infrastructure per se, right? You're not going to just destroy the mainstream media. You're not going to just destroy Wall Street. You're going to go in and you're going to get rid of all the crap, and then you're going to use that infrastructure for good, or, you know, for what it's supposed to be. So I would tend to think that these guys are a hell of a lot smarter than us, right? Trump and the military and the World Alliance of military leaders, that they knew where they had to take down first, even if they're still cleaning up. I don't know if that makes sense, but
it does, yes.
feel intrinsically that they're not, Trump said, we're never going to tell you what's going on.
Yes.
So if we're hearing a lot of this stuff or seeing it, it has to have been done a while ago.
Yeah, but don't forget Trump was saying in 2017, 2018, well, I can't remember the exact year, I caught the swamp. I caught them all. No one could have done it but me. You know, you don't, and you know, we all believe a lot of this was done before the first Q drop came out in October 2017. You know, these cabal have been in control of this planet for potentially 6,000 years.
Yeah,
right?
I'm aware. Yeah,
potentially could be more.
Yeah, of course. You know, these were the people behind the, you know, killing of Jesus. And all this battle has been raging for years. So, you know, and especially since Kennedy died in 63, that is definitely 63 years this has been going on. Do you know what I mean? With this sort of Q operation and stuff. But it probably goes back a lot longer. People talk about, you know, talking about it's going back to Lincoln. And maybe before that, they've just keep tracing things back. This battle between dark and light, it's been fought for ages, but I believe we're coming properly into the light now and the reveal, especially with that Axios account posted not yesterday, the day before. Buckle up. And then Tulsi Gabbard dropped all the biolab information yesterday. And we've been saying, you know, we should all we don't need a crystal ball, do we? We should all we've been saying that is she gonna start dropping stuff out before the 30th when she goes, allegedly. And yesterday that started, didn't it?
Yeah, I watched all the posts you put up, and I remember hearing you say, oh, I've got the day off on Friday. And I thought, oh, yes, Stewie, you've obviously been working your socks off because there are more posts than ever.
Yeah, well,
on Telegram, anyway.
A day off from podcasting, I meant.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, because Jason had to go and pick Dina up from the airport, didn't he?
Yes, but you said you were having a day off, and I thought, gosh, yes, day off. Yes, you must have been glued to your screen, putting all those stuff up. So yes, it is appreciated because I look at things across other different things, as I said, just trying to see the bigger picture of what's going on. Because I do find it fascinating. But so look, I'm going to probably have to leave you because I'm getting giddy by the moment now, and I'm seeing double across the screen. So
it's lovely to see you.
But,
and you
I will forward that thing to you in the next few hours as soon as I can see straight. So I will say goodbye and wish you all well, and thank you for having me on. And see you again soon.
Feel better, Shirley.
Yeah. All right, thank you, loves. Okay, bye, dears. Bye-bye.
Enjoy your lay down on the mat.
I will, yes.
Yeah. All right, see you later.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting. Now, if we want to get a little woo-woo, this is just my own opinion and some of the things I've heard, and you want to cut it all down really to one thing. I do think if this battle has been raging for so long and we might have been left alone as earthlings, Terrans, to deal with all this, it does seem that potentially this whole great awakening that's happening is tied in some way to the raising of the frequency of Earth and the involvement of stronger and more advanced benevolence that might have been helping. Because if we were to continue down the path as a planet, what I've heard, okay, I don't have this, it was going to start to have a ripple effect throughout, the rest of the civilizations out there. So, they sort of had to, in a sense, for their own benefit, get involved. Because if you think about it, if this has been going on for so long, there's been an awful lot of speeding up from what we could tell, maybe in the last 10, 15 years, that you could kind of visibly point to. And I don't think we could have done it alone,
Well, Trump coming down the escalator and you are fake news and the Q drops coming in. That was the start of the escalation, wasn't it? That was the start of the reveal. right?
Yes.
About what had been going on, right?
10 years now. Well,
10
maybe
years.
more. Yeah, 11.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's sort of publicly, isn't it? And we're still,
Since he came down that escalator, that was
yeah,
2016.
we have been. We talk about an EBS moment and all these sorts of things, but us four have been, however long we've been doing it, however long you've been away, we have been watching D-Class for 10 years.
At
Right?
least.
And yeah,
Mhm,
things
at
being
least.
revealed and stuff like this and everything. The we don't call them normies anymore. The abnormies, right? Only some of them that are paying attention are witnessing D-Class. But the people that still watch the mainstream media and don't believe anything like that, Trump, TDS, all these sorts of things, they're not witnessing it yet, right? Because, I mean, even with Tulsi Gabbard dropping all that stuff, there's posts all over Twitter, oh, this nonsense again, you're not bringing up this conspiracy theory and all this sorts of stuff, when it's all been documented. We've seen Victoria Nuland being grilled about it at the UN Security Council meetings. We've seen Bioclandestine going about it. We were watching Putin when he went into Ukraine. Bioclandestine was looking at all the places he was bombed. Oh, they're all bioweapons labs. We've seen Fauci being grilled. No, we don't do that. We don't do gain of function and stuff. It's all coming out, but it's coming out into a head now, into the public, the normosphere.
Yeah, but let's just, if you want to really go, calm,
the abnormosphere.
the abnormies. If you really want to go full on calm, you could go all the way back to Trump on Oprah. You could go all the way back to him when he did his interview with Rona Barrett.
Yeah,
like
that was 1980.
That was in the 80s. So,
and that's when he was becoming very popular in the New York, New Jersey area, because he was, building. He bought the Giants. I mean, he was expanding in the Atlantic City beach area resort. I mean, especially back then in the 80s, he was real popular there if you lived in that area. And then when he came out with The Apprentice, it was like, then he went nationwide, if you will.
Right.
I loved that show.
And in New York, it was also the, what do you want to call that? Like the society page too. Mm-hmm. Because it was very, what him and Ivana were doing and the Plaza Hotel. And I mean, we all focus, because it affects us very much, to look at what's happened in the last 10 years. Deep dive is what happened from, say, mid 70s to early 90s. Because that is really where I think we're going to see the war being fought.
Yeah, I just want to say something to you. If anyone hasn't seen that Rona Barrett interview with Trump, just Rona Barrett, Donald Trump on YouTube, from about 1980, 81, I can't remember the exact year. It's about 45 minutes long. There's clips of it. Find the full thing. You listen to Donald Trump then, he's very gentle, isn't he? He's a very honest man and stuff like that. And you look at Trump now, it's like Trump, that is Trump, but he's had to play this bullshit, big bollocked character for all these years to get this done.
I believe Jason when he said he passed the spear in that parade in New York to Kennedy, gave him the head of the spear in 1963. Trump knew about this mission even when he was 17 years old. Yeah, he was best friends with that guy with the UFC or whatever, Dana White. They were best friends in that military school.
It's such a long. Now the Rona Barrett, because I used to have her magazine and I read so I remember watching that live. But of course, being in New York, I guess that was the early 80s. So I was getting it. I was getting ready to go into college. So at that time, that's when I was he was my hero, because I wanted to go into business. So I had a picture of him in my wallet. So
in the 90s, I paid no attention to anything. I was oblivious. If people could have told me this stuff and I would have said, whatever, you know what I mean? I was too busy in survival mode, taking care of kids, but,
well, that's why I'm saying to go back and look with new eyes.
Yes.
It's really interesting.
I know. I sent my mom a video at the beach the other day, and I put the camera up and showed the white lines in the sky that they were doing. And she goes, what was that white line thing? And I said, that's what they're doing to our skies. You haven't seen it? It's all over Facebook, Mother. No, I don't believe that. You know, she's 87. There's no way
Very
she's
hard. Yeah.
And you know, my sister is 61. I got a brother who's 60 and a brother who's 64. They're not awake.
They're not.
I don't know why I am. I lost my twin brother in 2017. He died from mesothelioma, of all things. I don't know if it's because he was over in Korea and got asbestos exposure. He was there for like 8 years. He liked Asian women. He married a girl in Korea over there and had a baby. His boy lives here now. He's such a good boy. But anyway, his mother still is Korean and lives in Korea.
Oh.
She thinks he's going to go take care of her over there. No, he's American. He's staying here.
Maybe he'll bring her here at some point.
He did bring her here for 2 months. Everybody was so happy. She was making sushi and all this stuff I won't eat, you know. But anyway.
Yeah. So what do we got? So we got Trump's birthday.
Yep.
Would be very interesting.
I'm so bored with this movie, you guys. Enough's enough. Like, I don't even want to watch anything anymore. I don't watch Jason Q anymore because it brings my vibe down, because I don't like what he talks about. Like, I don't like those people either. I know what they've done. They call themselves, you know what? Starts with a J. And I don't like it either, but I don't want to hear all that hatred for 6 hours straight, you know. Anyway, I try to get hate out of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people I don't like, but like I have a neighbor who I don't like. And I used to walk out in my living room and say, God, I hate her. Now I don't do it. Now I blow kisses, and, you know, I can't stand hate anymore. I don't want to hate. So,
you have to follow what your heart is telling you is the right thing for you. You know, that like sometimes, you know, I don't know if I can't speak for Stu, but there are days where I feel that way. Like I just won't open Telegram. I need a break. I want to focus on what would seem to be very, I don't know, non-awakened things like cooking and shopping and, you know, taking my dog for a walk. And because the brain, you know, and the heart has to have a rest too sometimes, you know, and then you open your eyes and you can sort of see things a little differently when you revisit it.
Yeah, I'm not looking for information anymore. I feel like I know everything I need to know.
Yeah.
I'm looking for friendship, maybe people that are like me, you know, because it gets lonely, you know, not having anybody to talk to about all this.
Well, that's why we're doing this, because this is why I do what I do. I could quite easily just shut off and just do my own research and say fuck you to everyone else that doesn't want to pay attention to stuff like that. But there's always people out there that are learning every day. And I said to Elisa, we want to do a show. We could do a show just going in queue digging and all this sort of stuff all the time. But we want a show that people that have been doing this for a long time can watch, and also people that are new to it that are coming on going, what's about, can understand what we're saying. You know,
I think my purpose was to just have to spread seeds, you know.
Yeah.
Eventually they'll get it, because they're going to be like, holy crap, my mom was talking about that shit. Or, you know, I think eventually after we plant 1 million seeds, one day something's going to click for them. I mean, like it clicked for me. I realized the medical profession was out to kill us. You know, like back in 2012, I knew that. And they're just, you know, I tell everybody now, they're just, the more college they had, the more indoctrinated they are. They have no idea what they're even doing. I didn't go to college. I had to go back in my 12th grade year and take government to get my diploma because I refused to learn that shit back in 1977. And I had to go back in 78 to take government. And that teacher felt sorry for me. He's passed me even though I was getting B's because he wanted me to get my diploma.
Oh.
Now, I would go in the morning and then I had a job afterwards. I was a waitress, but.
Well, obviously we've seen so much, like just from what Stu and I do and the people that we meet, like we're just dotted all over the world, you know, people that have seen through narratives, wouldn't take the, you know, incorporate that into the belief system. We're able to stand strong and stand up of being called crazy or conspiracy theorist or stupid.
Because I have mental stuff. Everybody at the beginning was telling me, well, you're crazy. You know, they figured I was crazy because I've been on antidepressants, you know, in my life, all that kind of stuff. So people just assume I'm crazy. I'm far from crazy. I went off all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I healed myself.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they see it. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to show them is what I.
How did you know you had to get off it? Like, because when you're in an addictive state, you can't see
I was
that.
doing all the research. As far as the benzos go, it already had me in withdrawal before I was still taking them and I was still in withdrawal. Like, because I needed more. You build up a tolerance, just like alcoholics do to alcohol, and they need more and more and more. I mean, I would have those pills and still be feeling like shit. One day, my daughter looked at me in the driveway. It was a year after I'd moved back here. She knew I was taking those pills and I probably would run out before I even got my prescription filled again. And she just gave me this look in the driveway. Her and her husband, they came to pick up the kids, and he's a nurse too. He's a helicopter nurse. He is a flight nurse. And they just gave me this look, and I thought, oh my God, this is enough is enough. It was that look that she gave me, like, Mom, you and those damn pills. I was getting them from a doctor, but so I went off of them. Oh my God. And then the antidepressants, I knew how bad they were too. And I weaned myself down off I didn't wean myself off those benzos. So I went cold turkey. I could have died.
That could be dangerous. Yeah.
Yes, it is. And I was cold turkey off that.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. I have a personal experience with someone who, would take them here and there. And then before you know it.
That makes it worse because they're stopping and starting. That
exactly. But then it became a regular every single day thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the sleeping patterns were off. They were up all night, awake during the day, couldn't sleep. So then take it. Then that makes you sleep more. We had to have like a little bit of an intervention. But what you said was very interesting, how even if you stop taking them, for like this person was taking them for, I'm going to say 5 or 6 years. And there was a lot of defense about it. Like, I only took half. I didn't take the
thing is, I had educated myself. I knew what these drugs were doing. You know what I mean? And I knew what they were I knew I was messing with the devil. But I slept so good on those things, and boy, did they calm you. I mean, to this day, I would think to myself, oh, man, could I use a Xanax? I'll never touch that stuff again.
100%.
I haven't touched that crap.
But I'm wondering what you said, like, does it, even when you're off it, the amount of time because it does rewire the brain. So
I was hallucinating and everything. Like, I lived upstairs in a house. When we first moved back here, we rented a place that was upstairs. People lived downstairs. They were noisy. They drank. And I can remember I didn't sleep for like 2 weeks maybe when I first went off of it. You just lay there wide awake. You go to bed, but you lay there. You cannot sleep. You're so screwed up. You're hallucinating. I thought they were playing their TV loud. I went walking outside, walked around the house to the bedroom window and knocked on it and said, Joe, turn your TV down. And his TV wasn't even on. Wow. So I knew I was hallucinating, and I was in a bad marriage at the time. But anyway, another story. I can't believe I'm alive. I can't believe I'm alive.
But thank you for sharing the benzo story, because I think that's really important for people. I was
so mad for years. I wanted to help people so bad. I wanted to tell my story. Do you know I lost the hair it burned the hair out of the top of my head. Do you see
man.
Right here? I had like a baseball, size of a baseball of my hair had burned out of my head. And it grew back in blonde like when I was a little girl. So the only blonde hair I have is right here where I had
that area.
Yeah. But I mean, it even burned the hair out of your head. That's how intense it is. I felt like I had a burning band. It was crazy. So many side effects from going off that crap. I mean, it was horrible. And I didn't know what was happening to me. And I was so mad because the doctors didn't even help you. They look at you and say, that's out of your body in 3 days. What are you talking about?
Right.
I didn't know what was happening to me. I went to YouTube in 2012 and found people going through it just like I was. And then I knew I was going to live. I was following all these people that were ahead of the game a couple of months than me, So I knew I was going to live. I just had to keep going, It wasn't a doctor that gave me that. It was YouTube,
Yeah.
You found it on
I'll tell you what, Robert, you've been through a lot of stuff, and I know you have a little cry most days and stuff, but you
I think I feel sorry for myself.
But I think you're doing absolutely brilliantly, and I'm sure you're an inspiration out there to other people that are watching. So, well done to you.
Yeah, really. Hi, Simone.
Hello.
Hi,
How you
Simone.
doing? I wanted to come on because Robbie's really inspired me.
Oh,
wonderful.
She's
Robbie,
She
we
said
lost
a
your
few
sound.
things that really resonated with me
Oh, right, she's gone now.
about
No,
how I'm feeling. I feel I've learned everything I need to know. That's exactly how I feel. Not that I know everything. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that I know everything, but I feel it's like my soul is telling me, you don't need to learn anymore. You know enough in order to understand what's going on, you know? And I've that's exactly how I feel. So that really resonated with me. And the Jason Q stuff really resonated with me as well. So, yeah. So I thought I'd come in. She's gone now.
Yeah.
I think she's there. She might have just stepped away.
Yeah, I think she lost her sound, so I don't know what's going on. I am looking to see if she's coming back in. So, oh no, she has gone now.
Hello, Misty. Sorry. How you doing?
Good, Simone.
I
agree. I agree with you. I feel like
StreamYard.
I know.
Hang on. Can you hear us, Simone? For a tech wizard, she's not doing too well. She's a bit like Phil Kozlowski, isn't she?
You're muted, Simone. Okay.
Simone, is anyone there? Bueller? Bueller?
Bueller?
Bueller. Oh, right. Well, let's get it off the big screen then. Right. Well, I'll tell you what we talk about for a couple of minutes because Misty posted in the private chat. Has anyone seen the photo of Trump talking with the long hair? Hang on. Here she comes again. Hello. Can you hear us? It can't be that new laptop.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you.
Can't hear you.
You can't.
I should have just stuck with my old shitty Mac.
Well, have you still got an old shitty Mac? Oh, she can't hear me anyway, can she?
Probably not.
No. Right. Okay. So yes, this is there's so much happening at the moment, but this is one of the most interesting things at the moment. And let me just go to the message because I don't know who posted it. Oh, Tor Seb posted this. Right. So we've seen this image now.
Yes.
We know there's lots of AI going on and all sorts of stuff, and but that looks quite a genuine picture, doesn't it? Really, we'll talk about this a little bit more, but I just wanted to get that picture up. I wanted to go to the message to see who posted it. All right, let's just get Simone in before we get rid of it. Now, can you hear us, Simone?
I can for now.
Good. Okay.
Who posted that, Stu?
Pardon?
Who posted this?
Tory. Tor says.
And
So,
did it come from somewhere?
pardon?
Did it source from somewhere else that she posted it?
She's the first person I saw that posted it. So obviously 48 to 72 hour rule. There's lots of people digging into this. What does this say? Right. Who are the men meeting with Trump? Answer. Members of the King's Guard of Norway, says someone wisely and informatively. However, the King's Guard of Norway look like that.
Right.
Right. So obviously there's and Il Donado posted this morning, right, which we think is Trump's burner account, in with Tom Cruise and David Beckham. So, you know, there is certainly much more to this, you know, that is going on. Let me just find that picture again because I want to see who are they? The members of the King's Guard. Yeah. So this is another photo from the same event. President Trump.
They're all very tall, aren't they?
Very.
Yeah.
He's tall.
Yeah. So this is obviously this was only dropped yesterday. So it's, you know, it's something we're looking at now, especially with the Kate said she went to watch Disclosure, and I'll just mention this as well because I have heard a few people saying that potentially this Disclosure movie it's got some demonic attachments to it, and you know, if you watch it at the wrong frequency, it might be, you know, how you watch things and it makes you feel bad or it implants stuff into your mind and that. But Kate said she went to watch it. She said it was really uplifting and she's going to go and watch it again. So I'm going to pass her a recommendation on for that because I trust Kate. definitely.
I think all this, oh, it's got demonic attachments and stuff, only if you believe it has.
Yeah.
If you live in that fear-based kind of,
Yeah, that's exactly. It's your level of perception, isn't it? Because there's certain people that believe the mainstream media, right? So they're living in fear all the time. We hear a story on the mainstream media and think, "Fuck me, is that a psyop, man?" Or that's bollocks, or that's part of the takedown of the cabal. We see it in a completely different way. So I'm just
there's a lot of people within the community that are actually saying it's got demonic attachments. Don't go and see it. It's ridiculous. And then there'd be the same people that say, "Oh, it's only if you perceive it that way." It's. That's
what I just said.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying it's got demonic attachments to it. I'm saying that's what I've heard other people say in the community. So even that point now, we have to be mindful of who we've heard say these things. And are they trying to plant seeds? Are they trying to get people not to go and watch it? Are they controlled opposition? Are they patriots? All this sort of stuff. We have to take everything on board.
Well, there was that priest, wasn't there? Was he?
Right, Elisa's going. Elisa's going. Elisa's going, but then she's going to come back on when she's in the car, I think.
All right. I wanted to. I've got something to show her.
Well, she will be back. What have you done it?
Yeah.
Listen, right. When you say, "Oh, it's going to take me 2 weeks," I'm thinking, no, it's not. She's going to be on it straight away. I know, because that's the seed I planted in your mind.
Well, I say I've done it. That's if she likes it, or if they like it.
Yeah, well, let's get rid of her.
I got quite into it, and
I knew you would. Excellent. See, I sort of like a little Derren Brown mind control there. I did on you.
I can't hear you again. Fucking
well, it's definitely your end
why?
then, isn't it? So, okay, while she's messing about, Misty, what do you think about the tall, long-haired, long white-haired men?
Well, it's just I've seen similar or the same photos before, but I've just noticed in the last 24 hours it's been posted on X. And, my question to that would be, well, why? And then, they're a lot taller and people just don't look like that. It's not something that I see every day or have seen. And I was just wondering if there was any interpretations of that. My first thought was, the Galactic Federation. And because we're going into this weekend with the game and they keep saying that what Trump is building looks like a Stargate, and then it's got the EBS background. And I was just wondering just what everybody was thinking. And then I did want to say, to Simone, that I resonate with what she said about, I feel like I know enough, not that I don't need to know more. I certainly do. But at this point, there's so much information out there. You can only keep it up with so much.
Yeah.
Just like everybody else, I'm still frustrated when I see people that are very intelligent and they're so worried and they are taking Trump too literal and just all that. And they just don't see the glasses half full. They see it as half empty.
Yeah, no, exactly right. But I think, we said it's going to get more and more confusing as things go on. Things have been going to become more and more absurd. And I believe it's, to get everyone talking, ultimately, everyone's been divided for so many years, that they're not becoming more divided. You're only seeing potentially a lot of people in the truthing community are being divided by everything that's going on. But is that clearing out the wheat from the chaff, right? Is that finding out who is controlled opposition and stuff like that? Are people showing their true colours? You won't get any of that from me. And I mean, I've never felt I needed to take myself away from this. Do you know what I mean? Because every day I'm out in nature, I'll go for a run or a bike ride, or I'll go to the gym or do something. I get out and I just get away from all this. I don't sit here all day. I'm constantly doing other things. When you see me loading my Telegram up, I can come back to my Telegram for 10, 15, 17 minutes, smash out loads of posts and go away again. You know, I'm constantly doing things. It's not like no that. And I've got many friends as well that I can't do it anymore. It's too much information and all this sorts of stuff. But I'm living my best life doing this because I know that I've only got to get one message, one email from someone going, "Oh, I've been watching you. You've really helped me," and stuff like that. One email like that will keep me going for 6 months doing this because you've got to help one person at a time. And that's why I continue to do what I do, because not only that is I don't watch sport anymore, even though I've got an England shirt on. No, I might watch I'll probably watch the England games, I'm honest. I don't even watch the cycling on telly anymore. I don't watch any TV. I don't do any of this sort of stuff because it does not interest me. But this, watching the greatest who done it in the history of the world and watching the awakening unfold is the most interesting thing I've ever seen. And also, I believe when I woke up at 13 going, this is bullshit, this history, right? But I didn't know why. I believe it's for this moment to help people. And, you know, because I'm learning more all the time, am I accelerating my ascension? You know, am I getting wiser? Well, I'm certainly getting fitter by all the things I'm looking into and the things I don't eat and drink or any of that anymore. So I'm constantly learning, right? And I like to learn, and it's good. And if I can pass that information down to anyone else in the process, and that's why I do it. You know, I might go through 500, 600, 700 messages on Telegram and put them into 30 messages so that people who haven't got the time and, you know, I can't look at it all day, can come on, sit in the toilet, have a little scroll and know what's going on.
Well, you know, that word ascension, I know we're all going through it, but how do you find out, if it's even possible, how you assess yourself of where you are in the ascension process?
Yeah, I don't know that. I think the only way to understand that is look at other people and gauge where they are to see where you are. Do you know what I mean by that?
Well, I might as well be on another planet.
Yeah. I mean,
unless I'm talking to you or maybe one or two people that are my friends, the rest of the world, they just have no clue.
Yeah, exactly.
I think a good way to gauge it is look at what used to trigger you a year ago or a couple of years ago and what triggers you now. Because I used to be really angry about everything and I would react to, you know, especially around the COVID stuff. And now none of that really bothers me at all. I can overhear people talking utter shite about, well, let's face it, everything they believe is utter shite. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
Yeah. And I used to really feel the desire to intervene and correct them and stuff like that. And I don't anymore.
No, same.
Because I understand everyone's on their own journey. I know that's a bloody cliche, right? But everybody will get there in their own time, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I only talk to people about things like this if they're talking to me. I do my stuff. I put out the information. I don't, you know, they've kicked me out of Facebook again, so I don't get it. But even the last couple of years on Facebook, I don't get involved. All I used to do is post stuff on my wall and didn't used to look at anyone else's feed. I couldn't be asked. Scrolling through the Facebook news feed is one of the most depressing things you can do in clown world. Right, so I didn't used to do that, and then if anyone sent me, even if people sent me a taking the piss message sometimes on Facebook, if they interacted with me, I'd send them a response. Do you know what I mean? And that's all I ever did on there. But I talk to people down the gym. I do red pill people down the gym. I've got to tell you, but this is why I've been cutting my own hair for 6 years, because I can't sit in a hairdressing chair listening to that. Hasn't it been nice weather? It was summer last week and it's winter. You know what I mean?
are you going anywhere nice on your holidays?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I can't do it.
Vacation for you guys.
Well, that's why I started wearing a baseball hat, wasn't it? Because when I started cutting my hair to start with, I was quite good at it, but I used to be out, you know, and all that. And I think, what's that bit there? And I used to have a big bit of tuft out there. That I think, oh no. Yeah.
Yeah. The less said about hairdressers at the moment, the better.
What's that?
Because look what they did to me yesterday.
Well, I think it looks nice anyway. So, There you go.
Fault.
So what else is obviously, Simone, you haven't been looking too much, but everything that's going well, I was talking to you, Misty, beforehand, wasn't I, before we came on, about all this stuff we're seeing now with this beheading in Belfast, and there was a video went out of a girl was stabbed in the neck a couple of times yesterday by an invader, as Tommy Robinson puts it. You know, it's and obviously with our eyes, right, and we would be foolish not to look at everything. Is that real? Is that a psyop? If they can put a man in a presidential position for 4 years that potentially isn't that man, we have to look at everything, don't we? Especially with AI, fakery, and all this sorts of stuff. But yeah, it's sort of like it's really starting to bubble up over here, isn't it? Have you seen anything? You're in London, Simone, aren't you?
Yeah, but I don't sort of want to sort of put myself in that headspace. I know it's going on, but I don't sort of dive into it and find out exactly what's going on.
No. Sorry, what I meant by that is in your local area. Have you seen any protests?
No, because I'm right on the outskirts of London. We're bordering Surrey. Literally, the next street is Surrey, so it's actually quite nice here.
Yeah.
But you know, saying that, it's, you know, we still get, it's still screaming sirens, and I mean the world is losing its shit, seeing people face plant in the street on a, you know, Tuesday afternoon because they're so paralytic drunk, and just, yeah, I can definitely see that people are not dealing with the energies, you know, whether they understand what's going on or not, which I would hazard a guess around here they don't, you know, but I see it. I definitely see it in people's behavior. And I'm someone who's fascinated with behavior, being a dog trainer and everything. So I people watch, and I, you know, and it's very interesting. But then there's lots of people that are just very nice and floaty, and especially if the sun's out, you know, but there's definitely an element that's struggling.
Yeah.
You know.
I think that's right in all walks of life. I think, you know, even in, like we say, in the truthing community, people are struggling because you know, they've had enough. They're getting frustrated. They're, you know, losing the will. You know, all sorts of things. You could go on and on. But
there's another thing that I have noticed. A lot of people are dying, whether it's from that or whether it's from. There's a little estate at the back of me. And it's like a tiny little estate, but it's really like the concentration of like mental health and drug addicts is high, you know. So that's where all the screaming sirens are constantly going over there, and someone's OD'd or someone's killed themselves or you know, something like that. So there's been a lot of that going on over there. Like I said, it could be the energies. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, maybe we're getting closer to the end of this, and people are getting closer to the end of their soul contracts. You know, it's like that. That's my journey done. Out. That's my journey done. Out. We don't know, do we?
No.
You know, if we all had our soul contract in front of us, we'd know a lot more, don't we? But I think that was part of the stipulation of you won't remember anything when you get there. You know?
Yeah.
What else? So what else is on your mind this week?
I've been trying to practice out-of-body experiences.
Have you?
Yeah.
How have you been doing that?
I've had one before. Long time.
Mushrooms, ketamine?
No, just technique.
Breathing? Breath work?
No, just you get to a meditation stage of paralysis, sleep paralysis. That's the hard bit, achieving that. But I know it's achievable, and I know I can achieve it because a few years ago, I used to go and house sit for dogs. And I was house sitting in this beautiful countryside house in Hampshire, and they had 3 dogs, and I had my dog with me as well. So I had 4 dogs in the house, beautiful house, you know, big piece of land. It was summer. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
No, I've just flicked your microphone on mute just for a second there because I can hear a crackling, and I think that's
All right.
coming from you.
So the house owners, they left me a bottle of wine, and I don't really drink, but I thought, they've left me a nice bottle of red wine. So the night before, I'd had a couple of glasses of wine. So the next day, I felt a bit groggy. So I'd done everything I needed to do with the dogs, took the dogs out, fed the dogs, all of that, and I thought, I'm just gonna have a lie down on the couch and have a little siesta. And the next thing I know, so the dogs are all on the floor, the doors are open, the curtains are blowing in the breeze, it's all idyllic, and the next thing I know, I can feel this vibration. And I'd read about out-of-body experiences, so I kind of knew what it was immediately. I was like, oh God, all right, just try and stay there. Don't get into fear or anything like that. The only way I can describe this vibration is, when you're in a plane and you're taxiing before you take off and then the engines kick in, it's like that. And it just gets more and more and more and more and more and more and more. And I tried to come out of my body. And as I did, I literally felt a pair of hands on my chest going, no. It was, and I don't know whether it was something bad. Don't know. Back then I thought differently, or whether it was a spirit guide saying, no, you're not ready for that yet. But it definitely happened. And the funny thing was, when I woke up out of it, all the dogs were at the side of the sofa looking at me like, what the hell is going on?
Huh.
So, yeah.
They were sensing something. You were sensing something, but they were sensing something too.
They were looking at me like with concern, like, what's going on? What are you doing?
Well, that is interesting. I had two experiences like that during COVID, and it was what I thought at the time. Obviously, we were all researching, trying to find out what's going on and all that. I thought just my body started vibrating, right? It was really odd. And I immediately thought, they've just turned on the 5G. Right? That's what I thought at the time. But I don't know what it was. I don't know if these were downloads or what was going on. But they didn't last very long. I think it was only about 10, 15 seconds maybe.
And so were you asleep? Were you sort of nodding off or snoozing or anything?
Do you know what? I can't remember what I was doing.
Because you have to be like in a totally relaxed state and you have to just not move. That's why it's difficult when you've got a dog that's fidgeting next to you or something like that.
I think I was in bed actually. I can't really remember, but it was just, But
it's because I've been listening to Darius Joe Wright a lot recently.
Yeah.
Not just because of the out of body stuff. It's the way he describes the soul and stuff like that. I just find it beautiful the way he describes it, and there's something very authentic about him, I really enjoy his stuff. Got where I was going with that, but he says when he first started doing it, it took him like 8 hours sometimes, and I who's got 8 hours just to lie there and without falling asleep? That's the difficult bit. How do you lie there for so long without falling asleep? Because it's like a sweet spot between being awake and being asleep, which is called sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
So you have to say to yourself, body asleep, mind awake, body asleep, mind awake, repeatedly. So I think it's a skill that you just have to practice, But I find it interesting because I think like some of his students and stuff have like healed their bodies. They've gone over to the other side, if you like, because they say it's just the same. It's exactly the same thing as a near-death experience, because your body has gone to such a state where the electromagnetic field, you're released from the electromagnetic field. So, which is exactly the same thing as when you die.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I ain't got enough time for all that at the moment. Right, Elisa's back.
Hi.
Hi, Lisa.
Simone wanted to talk to you. Vic.
Yeah, I heard it. I was listening still, even though I was off. So I'm so excited. So you
you actually fussed with that since we spoke?
Yeah, that's pretty much all I've done, and walk the dog.
Yeah, I knew she would. I planted the seed, Elisa. Right. Oh, I'll try and get round to it in a couple of weeks. Thought, no, you won't.
Well, no, it's because once I got the concept and I understood what you wanted and everything, it's like I knew where I was going with it.
Okay.
So, I mean, it may have gone off that concept a little bit because, you know, but I think it's beautiful.
Well, do you want to have a look now, then?
Why not?
What,
Elisa?
on the show?
Yeah.
Yeah. The hell?
Well, you don't have to. It's up to you two girls.
But
Yeah, I
what if
don't
she
mind
hates
seeing it, and I'll share it with the other girls. We're not making any hard decisions, but definitely, I'm sure it's going to be beautiful.
Well, look, we can do it in private and all that, and then go, oh, maybe you want to change that bit or whatever, or no, that's perfect, or you can get it up here. I just made the suggestion. That's all. I'm not taking.
How do you feel, Simone? You want to rather do it in
I
private?
don't mind. How do I share screen?
You've got to click the present or invite box.
Is that the little telly?
Yeah, it's got a person next to the telly. Click that, and then you click share screen, right? And then at the top of the screen, you have click the words, click it, share entire screen, I think, and then that will open up a box. Click on the screen you want to share. Click the system audio button, and then share.
Oh, bloody hell.
Or you can send it to me, and I'll share it.
Well, no, because it's still in the editor.
Well, it don't matter. Oh, here we go.
Right. Ready?
Ready.
Yeah.
Ready.
Right. Just a little preamble. We can change anything you don't like. Colours, music, the end bit you might not like, but I love it. Okay?
Okay.
Big screen. Yeah, here we go. There's no volume.
What do I do with the volume?
Did you click that share system audio tab when you shared your screen?
Uh-oh.
She's gone
I
now.
hit the wrong button.
Yeah. Yeah. Technology, eh?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, what's going on?
Right. All I've got is a little TV with a cross in it.
Yeah, click that.
Share screen. Then
Yeah.
it says screen sharing is easiest with 2 monitors, right? Well,
Right. Listen, you should have some screens. It should say share entire screen. On the words.
Allow to share window. Allow to share screen.
Yeah, I think you've got that's different to what I've got.
Right.
Alicia's gone anyway. She's in the car, isn't she? Right, Simone. Right, that's the screen you're sharing.
Is it? Right. Okay. So where do I go for the sound?
No, you can't. You need to do the sound when you're sharing the screen. There's a little thing there. You could toggle on audio. You have to stop sharing again. You have to do it at the time.
It doesn't. There isn't anything there.
All right, let me just show you how to do it on mine. I'll tell you what I can do. I can quickly open up another StreamYard and share that. All right.
So I get screen share. Then it says
Right.
Screen sharing is easiest with 2 monitors. Screen sharing works best on good computer. Use Chrome if you'd like to share audio with your screen. Use Chrome.
Just look at my screen. Right. Can you see that? You see my screen share?
I'm guessing you can't hear me.
Oh, fuck's sake. No. No, we can hear you. You can't hear us again. I'll tell you what. Here comes Elisa. Sort of. It's only me. Right, here she is. Right, now can we hear you?
I have a terrible connection here. It took forever to sign in.
Yeah, you have. You're in your mobile in the car, probably. That's why.
Let me quickly export it and I'll send you the files too.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to try to come in again because let me see.
You sound like a Dalek.
I can't hear you guys without static. I'm going to try to come back.
Exterminate. Well, let's get rid of her. We move. Kick from studio. Let's kick her. Simone, where are you sending it?
Don't know yet. Hold on.
How big's the file?
Don't know yet. I'll tell you when I've exported it. It's not very big.
Well, it don't matter. Basically what this is. Here comes Elisa again.
It's almost done. It's almost done.
Where are you sending it?
Where do you want me to send it?
Still very slow.
Elisa, you got a lot of static.
It's a lot of static.
Where do you want me to send it to?
Yeah, don't worry, Elisa. Just go and do your thing, and we'll catch up later.
Okay, great. Love you guys.
See you later. Yeah. So, all right. Well, we won't show it on here then.
Oh God.
Well, it doesn't. If Elisa's not here, there's no point, is there?
All right.
Yeah. So that's fine. Oh, she's gone again now. Back to the Stu and Misty show. And Misty's muted.
Yeah, I'll go with it.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, what else you seen in the news then that's interesting?
Probably watching the same thing you all are. I mean, nothing other than I think a lot of people are hoping that this weekend there's some nuggets of change that are going to be revealed that I'm really hoping will be significant. Although Tulsi Gabbard, was on, there was a Breitbart clip that I watched with her exposing the bioweapons, and really, I mean, we knew, not bioweapons, the biolabs, we knew about that years ago, but it's resurfacing again. And it was quite compelling what she had to say. But then again, it's like, well, where are some big arrests? And Dave on News Treason had mentioned how if you look at the comments, most people, when they're talking about crimes or the fraud, in the millions, people are saying, where are the arrests? And, when they say, where are the arrests? I don't think it's on the local level as much as they want to see Obama, Hillary, or what have you, those people. Those are the arrests they want to see. Very public arrests. And then Gitmo. When are we going to start being able to watch tribunals at Gitmo or, any other military prison?
After months of searching through intelligence community holdings and files, today I'm releasing new evidence of longstanding U.S. government funding of more than 120 biolabs in over 30 countries. Now, these biolabs include labs in places like Ukraine, which could be at risk of compromise due to the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war. In fact, the intelligence community had previously warned that a U.S.-funded biolab in Ukraine likely housed dangerous pathogens and remained vulnerable to longstanding threats of Russian attack, seizure, or damage. Now, until now, evidence regarding the full existence and funding of these laboratories had been knowingly withheld from you, the American people. Many of these U.S. government-funded biolabs are currently or have previously engaged in research using hazardous and highly contagious pathogens, and in some cases included dangerous gain-of-function research with very little visibility or oversight. Now, President Trump clearly understands the serious threat dangerous gain-of-function research poses to the American people. And this is why he took decisive action over a year ago. On May 25th, 2025, he signed an executive order to end federal funding of gain-of-function research around the world. Here at ODNI, I issued new guidance to the intelligence community directing increased collection on these laboratories and facilities overseas. And we're already seeing the results of this increased collection. We're learning new details, for example, on clinical trials that are underway at these facilities and that are raising significant ethical, financial, and security concerns regarding the supposed public health initiatives and U.S. national security. Now, despite the obvious potential for catastrophic global impact that research on dangerous pathogens in biolabs can have, politicians and so-called health professionals like Dr. Fauci, as well as entities within the Biden administration's national security team, lied repeatedly to the American people about the existence of U.S.-funded and supported biolabs. Not only did they lie, they threatened those who attempted to expose the truth. So this release today breaks new ground, as the information surrounding the existence, history, locations, and funding of these U.S.-funded biolabs has been intentionally covered up by very powerful people who falsely claimed that these biolabs didn't exist. Now, they accuse anyone who says otherwise to be foreign assets and traitors to America. Now, ODNI will continue working closely with partners across the U.S. government to identify exactly where these labs are and what pathogens they contain to end dangerous gain-of-function research that threatens the health and well-being of the American people and people around the world.
I can't hear you, Stu.
Sorry, can you hear me now? Yeah.
Yes.
This is why with so many people around the world that are still sleeping and are jabbed up, right? Disinformation is going to terrify them, right? And this is going to lead to COVID and all this stuff being a scamdemic and what they did in election fraud and everything else. This is why I believe it's having to be dripped out so slowly in stages, because, you know, it said no civil war, no civil unrest as well, didn't it? You know, Sleeping Giant posted, we are not ready to handle the truth threat. Well, we are, but a lot of people are not, right? So I believe this is why it's drip. We've been told drip, 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 haven't we, for so long? Flood. Well, people are going to start getting a flood, and if they haven't listened to anything we've said, it's going to be hard to handle. Certainly.
I think it's time for the flood. I think the people that are not awake, you could drip it all day long, they're still not going to be awake.
Yeah,
they don't want to know. They don't want to know unless they are going to be forced.
Yeah, and exactly.
I think at this point, it's time. It really is time.
Yeah, it is. Rip the Band-Aid off now. They've had long enough. We want to see it. All, drip, drip, flood, 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 flood. So, Badger said, people are saying something big happening this weekend. What do you think or have heard? And there's one more comment here. All right. As I've heard it, they're prepping a massive press pool at Gitmo now. Probably won't be far away. At least the recordings of them, disclosure of those, don't know. So, yeah, with what we're seeing with the UFC stage, Trump talking about leaving it up for a lot longer while he's been rattling on about the Eiffel Tower and stuff. The EBS background, this can't keep going on for people like us, can it? Right? Forever. Right, not getting the EBS and not getting this reveal and stuff. So there's certainly, especially with that Tulsi Gabbard bit there, certainly a lot building to something big is going to happen. Now, we might see this UFC fight. Just go ahead. Nothing happens. But don't forget, there's 4,300 people being invited there, and they are pretty much all military, right? So we might even see an EBS go off. You can't just start bringing Hillary and Obama out and start hanging them, can you, if no one's aware of what they've been doing? So you would need something first. But it's interesting that Trump has said after the event, it's going to stay up, right? So we could see at the event, when everyone's watching it, the EBS, we've got the World Cup on at the moment. That could come in a massive match when everyone's watching it. So, you know, what do you think about all this? I'll tell you what I really hope to see, because we have talked before, haven't we, about the dream ending of JFK Jr. coming out with Trump.
Or Michael Jackson coming out on the stage and doing the moonwalk, you know?
Yeah, Shamon. Yeah.
I know, that's what I would love to see. And, you know, I don't know if you follow him on, on X, Pastor Bob Joyce.
Elvis,
Yeah, he's been posting, like, you know, Diana, JFK, John Denver, Michael Jackson. He's been doing these posts recently, a lot of them, to say they're still alive. They're still alive. I mean, you want to wake people up, I really believe, and we talked about it before, is have someone that everybody loves and they miss that was famous, like a Princess Diana or Michael Jackson or JFK Jr., and have them come out on stage and say, I was never dead. I just had to go into witness protection because my life was being threatened. And that's why I've been gone. And here's what's going on. People are going to listen. A lot of people, I think they will believe then.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Now, just talking about John Denver, I can't. Sure, his name's gone right out of my head. Who's the guy that wears the hat that a lot of people think?
Vincent
Fusca. Yeah,
Fusca. Yeah.
Now, is that who a lot of people think John Denver is? Now,
I've heard that, but then I've also heard that they think that's JFK, which to me, I don't see the likeness.
No,
whereas
but
John Denver, you could see the likeness.
Yeah, I'm just going to type that in, see if I can see something there. Because I know he looks identical to someone. Oh, that's not coming up. No. I think Vincent Fusca, is it him? I'll have to look into that a bit more. But yeah, it's really interesting, isn't it? I was talking to Jason. I know we said the dream is for JFK to come out with Trump, start talking about Q, and this is what we've had to do. But I would absolutely love to see a Stargate open on USC night and JFK Jr. come out with Princess Diana and Michael Jackson, all that, all come out like they were wearing in Stargate. You know what I mean? With the old you can't even say that well, go our world, isn't it, or something like that? And just take their helmets off. This is what's been going on. Yeah, we've been waiting for a moment like that for ages. It does say us in the Q drops. You would love how this movie ends. Yeah, Vincent Fusca equals John Denver. If people go and look for pictures of that, people. I'm just going to have a Google now. Images. There.
Stu, do you have one of those softwares that you can determine whether or not it's AI or not?
I would normally, no, I don't pay for any software, but I would go, and if I wanted to know anything, that's just the picture there, John Denver and Vincent Fusca. It's like, I mean, that's a stunning resemblance, isn't it?
It is.
And also, not only do I think a lot of these people are still alive playing parts, I mean, JFK Jr. loved to act, didn't he, and wear masks and play different people's characters. So did Michael Jackson, and also I believe many of these big accounts on Twitter could potentially be these people. You know, Michael Jackson might be tweeting every day. Princess Diana might, if they're still alive, obviously.
Yes.
How interesting, eh? Yeah. Robbie just said the stage is set. It couldn't be any more set, could it? Wouldn't that be awesome? Said Kate. Yeah, it would. Right. Sitting in the queue drops. Wait until you find out who you've been speaking to here. I mean, that is what we want, isn't it? It's not essential, but we just want some sort of vindication that we've been telling the truth, trying to find out the truth, and trying to help our fellow man and woman. You know, while we've all been ridiculed and laughed at and shunned and not invited to certain things, whatever. It's never wavered me in my path of doing what I'm doing. For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Wouldn't that be great? So, are you watching any of the football because the Americans are playing and stuff? Is that anything that interests you? I mean, like I say, I haven't watched any football for 6 years, but I used to.
No,
you know,
I'll probably watch podcasters that are commenting on it and watch some of it, but I'm not into any kind of sports. I never, other than horses. You know, I used to ride and show horses and do trail riding. That was my sport of choice. To me, everything that we're doing with the truther movement, that's my sport. Yeah,
definitely. Well, I just might watch the England games, and that's it. Oh, and K23 there said, wasn't that going to... Oh, no. There's 2 Vincents. Yeah, and I've heard that as well. Like there's 2 107s. There seems to be true with a lot of people, don't they?
Yeah. I think it was Carrie Cassidy that said... The 2 107s, one's JFK Jr., and then the other is JFK Jr.'s friend. Allegedly, that's what's been said. But then you hear Mel Carmine saying that Juan was a brigadier general, and I still can't understand why he can't show his face.
Yeah.
But he has such a great opinion.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He's a very, very knowledgeable man. And I definitely think he's high up in the military, what he's doing, or certain military collections. I've heard people say that he's the closest man to Trump, apart from Dan Scavino. You know, you hear Kerry Cassidy say this, one's got blue eyes and one's got brown eyes. That's one of her main stipulations. But I could put blue contact lenses in.
Right exactly.
You know, I saw 107 turn up at that Vegas event 4 or 5 years ago, and whoever that was had a fat suit on. Definitely, you know, that was it doesn't make sense. You know, if it was this, we hear one of the 107s is Wayne Willett. You know, then there's other people that go. I watched an interview with Nino. He was in a hotel room talking to the camera like this, and 107 was sitting next to him, with his looking the other way, so we could only see him from the back. He had a false beard on this time, hat, and everything like that. I mean, why do you need to do it? Nino constantly goes on about this is not JFK Jr. Someone else was saying the other day, it is not JFK Jr. So we just take all these on board. But JFK Jr., I believe in my heart, 117%, that he's alive somewhere. You know, whether he plays 107 every now and then, or whether he plays other characters in this movie, or whether he's just behind the scenes in Valhalla, you know, directing this mission. But someone said, no, I only heard this very briefly the other day. Someone I was listening to said, did you hear what Trump said the other day? I need to speak to the boss, John, or I'll run that by the boss, John, something like that. So, and they were going, and that might have been on Rambo last night, actually. Who was John? Is that JFK Jr.? You know?
And that was before, too, when they were getting on one of the Air Force helicopters, and somebody was screaming, John.
Yeah. I showed you that clip, didn't I, before?
Yeah. And I had seen it on X as well.
Yeah, it took me ages to find that. I had it and I lost it, and then I managed to find it again. So I cherish that clip. It's just, that to me is one of the most interesting things I've seen. So who is that? And like I say, someone said to me, oh, it could be anyone. I said, yeah, but could it be anyone walking down the White House lawn to get on Marine One with Trump? And then they went, no, probably not. Well, there you go. So who was it? And who was the lady with him? Yeah. That's it, isn't it? Well, I'll tell you what, that was a great little chat. I know we had some technical issues there today. Elisa had to go, and Simone was on and off, in and out, like a fiddler's elbow, she was, wasn't she? Yeah. So, yeah, but that's good. I'm going to have a look what Simone's come up with now, because she did, well, I've got the outro today is our wonderful little partners video that Simone did. So I've asked her to do one for Elisa's new show as an intro. So it's going to be, it's going to be really interesting to see that. So I look forward to it. Someone's just said 107 is Mossad. And, you know, I don't agree with that at all.
No, I don't either.
No.
Everybody can have their opinion.
Yeah, of course they can. It's a free speech platform, and
Yeah.
that's what I love. This is why we don't want to kick it. We will only kick anyone out of here. I know some people do like to post a lot of things, and other people just post a little bit, but we'd never kick anyone out. Everyone has got a beautiful opinion, and we take it all on board. Like you say, you can't, you have to watch everything that's going on in this movie, like we have to listen to every opinion, you know, and we would only kick people out if they were like completely utterly racist, rude, or just berating people, and then you're gone straight away. But yeah, thanks, Misty, for joining us. Thank you, Bobby.
Well, thank you, Sue, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks on the next chat.
Yeah, and you know, everyone out there watching this, you saw Simone coming on with a few technical difficulties, Elisa talking like a Dalek, Misty was on. We saw Bobby come on, show her face for the first time. She's been on once before with her camera off. So this is just a normal place to come and have a chat every other Saturday, and you're all welcome on. So please, some of you get a little bit of the courage in there and just come on and have a chat. Yeah. And where we go, when we go, oh, I can't say any better than that. Thank you, Misty. Lots of love, and lots of love to everyone in the chat. We'll see you on Monday.
Make sure you're watching Stu's News and Patriots across the pond for some of your awakening information. Amazing guests every week from Monday to Saturday. Visit patriotsacrossthepond.com and follow Stewie and Elisa today on Rumble for the live shows. And remember, where we go one, we go all.
In a world flooded with noise, clarity has become rare. People are questioning what they're told and searching for something real. Mr. Heal's modern wellness meets old school remedies. CBD tinctures, methylene blue, gummies and edibles, THC-free wellness, and functional remedies crafted with old school care and modern precision. Biozox, a trusted source for ivermectin and fenbendazole. Biozox, believe your health decisions should be yours, not dictated by politicians or big pharma. Crafted with purpose and precision, Freedom Forged coffee, cacao and mushroom tinctures, small batch roasted coffee, rich cacao and functional mushrooms crafted with purpose. Verity Metals, redefining what precious metals investing should be. Why choose Verity Metals? We're not just another gold dealer. We're a trusted retirement partner. Our clients choose us because we lead with education, integrity, and transparency. Medical bills are the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States, accounting for 66.5% of bankruptcies. We can all agree the healthcare system is broken. There is an alternative, impact health sharing, which Yahoo News is calling the disruptor in the $4.6 trillion healthcare system. For more information, visit patriotsacrossthepond.com.